Hey everybody, I'm back with yet another product review from Mantis. Now, if you're not familiar with the Mantis, I recommend that you catch up and get familiar with it because it is a game-changing device that will help you with your dry fire, with your trigger press, with your grip control. The device has been around for such a long time now, and it still is one of the most reliable pieces of training equipment you can have in your kit. So this is the Mantis X10 Elite, which I did a review a couple years ago maybe. You can go check it out on my channel. Fantastic device. Now, here's a question for you before we get into the review. So as we all know, or as we all should know, because we should be training with this at some stage of our evolution as shooters, this is a device that you mount on the rail underneath your gun, and you download the Mantis app. It will inform you real time with animation what you're doing wrong with your trigger press, how you're moving the gun, if you're anticipating, if you're putting too much finger on the trigger or too little finger on the trigger. It will do all of that real time Bluetooth to your phone. So to the instructors out there, are you using this with your students? And if not, I think you should incorporate it with some of your classes. How valuable would it be to have this device and not have to take the time in your classroom to mount it to anyone's pistol? Take the time to have to make sure it's fitting right and calibrate and all that stuff with this. And then if you have multiple students, if you don't have a lot of these, having to switch this out and put them on different firearms, right? For you students, you new shooters, those of you who just want to maintain your shooting skills using this device, how valuable would it be to have something like this in a firearm where you didn't have to rack the slide every time you took a shot to reset the trigger? Now, while this device does allow you to track your motion with your pistol and your trigger press and all that good stuff, unless you spend more money on a laser cartridge or laser insert that you would insert into your barrel, you don't have any way of using this incorporated with seeing what your impact on your target is going to be, unless you use that laser cartridge. Well, how cool would it be to incorporate something like this with a firearm that is going to provide you with a laser impact? The new Mantis Titan X incorporates all the functionality of a SIRT pistol with the Mantis X10 training device, all incorporated into the training pistol, the Titan X itself. It's a laser pistol with an integrated Mantis X that allows shooters to train anywhere. You can train at home, you can dry fire at home, and you're going to get real-time performance insights with that laser impact. So it pairs with the Mantis Pistol Rifle app, and it also works with the Laser Academy Mantis app for shot placement feedback. The Titan X has a realistic resetting trigger, which I emphasize with all of my students, even in the basic pistol classes that I teach, because I think that getting them to understand that reset is critical to them understanding about not coming off the trigger or slapping the trigger. You got to feel that reset. So it's great that this pistol has that capability. It's also optic ready. You can put an optic on the rear of the slide, and it comes with 2 realistically weighted magazines that you can use for some of the reload drills in the Mantis app. It will accept Glock magazines as well. You're able to adjust the windage and elevation of the laser using the ports on the side near the muzzle, using it just an Allen wrench. Although right out of the box, I started pressing the trigger on this on a target, and based on line of sight, that laser looked pretty damn accurate. And unlike a SIRT pistol where I had to take it apart and replace the battery because the laser was getting dim, you don't have to worry about that. All you need to do is plug in a USB-C charging cable into the side and you're good to go. I'm a huge fan of Mantis's branding. They have beautiful branding, very distinct branding as far as I'm concerned, and I love their packaging. They're not giving you stuff with tons of cardboard, tons of paper, and lots of plastic. Because I'm a conservationist, I don't want to kill trees, I don't want to kill turtles. So I love their packaging. As always, just like I reviewed with the Blackbeard X and with the Mantis devices that I have, it comes in just a simple, nice, soft pouch, soft case that you can just throw in your range bag and know that the contents are going to be undisturbed and not damaged, but just something that's simple, light, easy to carry around. One thing that the Titan X does not come with is a holster. Now, given that you can pair this with not only the Mantis app, but the Mantis Laser Academy app, you can drill magazine reloads. So you would want a holster to be able to draw from, reload your magazine, take a shot and reholster. It does not come with a holster, but it doesn't matter because this profile is roughly that of a Glock 17. And so if you have a Glock 17 or something similar to that, a holster that will fit that Glock, you should be fine with this. I have this generic universal holster, a holster that I wouldn't necessarily recommend you use for concealed carry or you're using to defend yourself when you carry a gun, but it definitely works fine for training. And again, this is a Glock 17 holster. So as you can see, it fits fine. I'm not a big fan of muzzle sticking out of the bottom of the holster, so that's why I probably would not carry this. But it is well suited just for training. The company is called Phalanx Defense Systems, I think. They're not expensive. Go grab one of these. Now you can be training in that laser app, and I'm going to show you some of the advantages of that. Prepping the Titan X is extremely simple. It's pretty much along the same lines as all the other Mantis products. First of all, if you don't have the Mantis app, very simple. Just go to your app store. I have an iPhone. I'm assuming you can find it on Android just as easily. So just search on Mantis. And right there, I've got Mantis X right there. That's the app that I want. And I'm just going to download Mantis X Pistol and Rifle. And while you're here, you might as well just download the Mantis Laser Academy as well, because as I said earlier, you can train with this. It will work Bluetooth with either of these apps. It is free, but some of the drills you do have to pay for. It's only $49.99 for all of the drills that come with the Academy, just 50 bucks, guys. So yeah, I went ahead and paid my $50 and I've got everything that this app has to offer. But let's start off with the Pistol Rifle app. So I already have it downloaded, so I'm just gonna open it. And pairing this is, like I said, very simple. First thing I'm gonna do is, on the top of the slide, there's that little cutout there. All I need to do is press this button, and I get a flashing green light. After that, I just hit connect, scanning, connecting, and there it is. That's how simple it is to pair this thing. And you'll notice that the flashing green light became a solid blue light. Also, when I go to my phone, if I go to, and again, this is an iPhone. I don't know how you do this on an Android, but if I go to settings and I go to Bluetooth, I can see that my Mantis is paired because I see Mantis 2 up and connected. So we are good to go. All right, so I got my blue light, it's solid. I checked the phone, it's paired, but real quick, there's some other functionality with this button I just want to point out to you. So now that I'm paired, what have you, let's say I want to adjust the laser because the laser is not accurate, even though this came out of the box looking pretty good. But let's say I need to adjust the laser. Well, I will want to keep the laser on so I could see motion or I can judge it pretty easily, right? I don't want to have to keep pressing the trigger to see where the laser is hitting. So all I need to do is press this quickly, and the laser will now emit consistently while I adjust it. If I want to get rid of the laser, I'm going to press down quickly again. It flashes and goes away. Now I can use it like a regular training pistol. All right. Once I'm done training, I press this down and I press it and hold it down, and it shuts off. Blue light's gone. It's all done. Now let's take a look at the Mantis app. I will show you, and you can find all this in the previous review, the settings down here on that home page with all the drills. right here. I'm not going to go through them, but you can set up if you're right-handed, if you let it know if you're right-handed, left-handed, if you are dry firing, if you're live firing. Obviously, with this firearm, the Titan X, it is a non-firing live pistol. So it's going to automatically, when it pairs with this, it's automatically going to go to the X setup. So it's going to give it to you by default. All right. So then we can go back, and we're back to our drills. Now, even when we select a drill, let's go to open training. We can press drill, and we can do some other setup here. Buzzer delay. What's the delay that you want the buzzer to beep so you don't get into a repetition? You can set it for 1 second to 4 seconds, or you can increase that as you see fit. How many shots do you want it to judge you by? You can set the number of shots, shot count. You can repeat the relay. So let's say I select, I want an 8-shot count, and I want to repeat the 8-shot count 2 times for a total of 16 rounds with a buzzer after the first eight rounds. Passing score, you can set that. And we have other things here. You can get this and play with it yourself. I'm not going to go through everything, but I do want to go through open training. This is the drill I would say you might want to try starting off. All right, let's get into some training. So I've got the Titan X in this non-Titan X holster, so it's not perfectly seated. Trigger guard is not completely covered. That is a must if you're carrying a firearm in a holster, but this is all I got for now. I just started playing around with appendix carry, so the holster that I showed you earlier is not designed for appendix carry. So I'm working with this one. It's got a wedge and it's got a claw on the side. So, all right, enough excuses. All right, so let's go to open training and let's check the drill. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the default. I'm gonna hit reset just to make sure it's all in default. And the only thing I'm gonna change here is I do want to get a command. I want to hear it give me an order. So I'm going to tap this button here, and we're going to go with other beep. That way I'll get a beep. Okay. So let's hit done, and we'll hit start.
Shooter ready. Low left 80.
Okay, I got an 80. Not the best start, right? But now I can go to the app, and we see what we have here. We see the score there. It says I was slapping the trigger, probably. I'm gonna tap this red indicator here, and it says slapping the trigger, and it gives me some directions here. Let's go back. And if you look at the top here, I can tap on this icon to the left. And now I'm gonna see my shot having registered. And you see all that blue right there? That is me handling the gun, and the yellow is me breaking the shot. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, trigger press movement in the yellow, hold movement in the blue, a lot of movement there, right? And then we can go to this icon, and I see all of the movement in the gun, but prior to me pressing the, breaking that shot on the trigger. So also what's really cool about this is I can hit the arrow here, and I can see the motion of the shot. Okay, so I'm gonna move from open training to one of the elite drills. I'm gonna try holster draw analysis multiple shots. And one thing I wanna point out is that you'll only get those drills, maybe some of the other drills as well, but I know these two drills, you'll only get those if you pair the app to the Titan X. So these are some drills you get the benefit of having when you pair it with this particular device. So let's tap on multiple shots, holster draw analysis. Okay, and it tells you what the drill is. Draw from the holster, present the target. You can take multiple shots. So let's hit start.
Holster the firearm.
Firearms holstered. Standing by.
2.7.
So I did better there. I slowed down a little bit. It says I had an average score of 98.1 with an average time of 2.73. Let's go back and look at some more analysis. So this was confusing to me when I first set this up. So what I'm looking at here are the actions on the far left. So the first action was drawing from the holster and taking that first shot, breaking that first shot. That was a total time of 2.73. And what made that confusing for me is that I didn't realize it was registering my first shot from the holster, because I saw shot number 2. I'm like, where's shot number 1? But shot number 1 is included in that first action, holster number 1. So shot number 2, I had a score of 84.4, and from the time I broke the first shot out of the holster to breaking that second shot was 1.11 seconds, and then breaking that third shot with a score of 93, I'll take it. That time was 1.05. So my average score was 88.7. Average time was 1.63. I got to tell you, I got a lot of improving to do, but that time was a lot faster than when I was carrying at my 430 position. So I'm going to keep working on that. Okay, so now let's put those 2 magazines to work, the 2 magazines that came with the package. And we're going to do some reloading, some reload drills. So let's find those real quick. Reload drills, there we go. Okay, reload in battery. Let's see what that's all about. Okay, so we've got reload in battery. So based on the instructions here, I'm just going to treat it. My mind is thinking that I'm going to treat this like it's either a slide lock reload or emergency reload. So I'm just going to, on the beat, I'm going to draw. I'm going to grab a fresh magazine. I'm going to drop the magazine in the mag well, insert, and I'm also going to feign racking the slide because I want to keep that training scar. I don't want to just come out because I got to rack one into the chamber. So I'm going to fake that, then get back on target.
Shooter ready. .96.
So if I want to hit done, I can go back as always and see all of my stats. I said great shot. How about that? I'll take that. I did take my time though. I was kind of slow. And there we go. A lot of movement on the hold, but trigger press, okay, was pretty good. And wow, yeah, a lot of hold, a lot of movement. All right, so that's one of the reload drills. I'm going to try one more. Let's go to let's see, reload tactical. See what that's about. All right, goal is quickly reload the firearm and fire one shot, as is obvious. So we're going to start with the slide and battery. That's obvious because this slide doesn't reciprocate. And a reload magazine ready. I got to drop the magazine with the fresh magazine in my hand, so I have to manipulate that and insert into the mag well, and then take a shot after I stole the other magazine away.
Shooter ready. High left 78. Shooter ready. Low left 93.
I fumbled with it, but you never stop when you know, everything is like you visualize you're in a 360-degree environment, so you keep going, which is what I did. And I got a 93 on the shot placement, so I'll take it. All right, so now let's move into the Laser Academy app and see what they have to offer there. It's a little bit of a different setup. The Laser Academy app has QR targets that you use your cell phone, or I guess your iPad, that you have to use the camera to line up the camera with the target where all 4 of the QR codes are in the frame, and then it will recognize your target and it will simulate gunshots and put impact holes or impact markings on the image on your phone. So I'm going to open up the Laser Academy app. There we are right there. Okay, and just for fun, I'm going to do the simplest thing because I'm not that familiar with the Academy. I just got this maybe a couple weeks ago and haven't had time to play with it. So open shooting single target, we will give that a shot. So I'm going to tap that. It's got some nice sound effects to it. All right.
9, 5, 7, 19.
So with this particular target, maybe not the best target to be in front of a bright light trying to shoot, but I think I did pretty good. So I hit stop, and I see my scores there for each shot: a 9, 5, 7, a 19, and the final one was a hit dead center. So with this, if you hit in a certain slice of the pie, as you see there, that's what your score is going to be. Not that only if you hit in the center do you get the highest score. Otherwise, you got to hit in certain slices to get a high score. So I wasn't aware of that, so that's going to be my excuse. But I'm happy with the results. It shows you the time between each shot, and let's see if so then you can identify each shot, and there you have the Mantis Titan X paired with the Mantis Laser Academy. Now remember, the Laser Academy, if you want to get the full drills on that app, you got to pay another $49.99. But I tell you what, as we all know, or we should know, most of our training should be dry fire, maybe 80 to 90%. How much are you saving going to the range and shooting lead down range each time, right? So in my opinion, the Titan X and the apps are well worth it. Now, I will say some things about this that I'd like to see maybe down the line. It is very light. It's similar to like just a plastic mold of a pistol. I might be willing to pay more if the slide were made of metal like my SIRT pistols, giving a little bit more weight, making it feel like more like an actual firearm. The magazines have a good weight to them. They feel like they could be realistically weighted. But here's the thing. If you want to put that in comparison with the SIRT pistol, I have a SIRT pistol that's fully weighted like a Glock 17. That ran me $450. The lighter version of that, the SIRT pistol that I have, it's a lighter, a little, just slightly heavier than this. It ran $250. You're getting this training pistol with the Mantis incorporated in it, the Mantis X incorporated in it, for $199. I just feel like I have a full complement of devices, Mantis devices, that if I've got a student coming to my classroom, a couple students that don't have guns, I'm going to hand them this. If I have students that come into the classroom that already have firearms, as long as they have the proper pick rail, I've got the Mantis X and I've got the Mantis X10 Elite to hand to them. I just feel like this is just a great addition to my line of products, or my toolkit that I can use to train students. And it's also going to be great for students to go out. It's affordable for a student to go out and pick this up as well. All right, guys, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Another great product from Mantis. And remember, keep training, get informed, get out there, train, dry fire train. You've got the tools now to be able to do that, affordable tools. All right, guys, I will see you on the next video. Take care.